I'm catching up with Nick Peril ahead of racing on Friday in the Eastern Cape. We're going to be chatting about the Cliffy Miller runners. And first up in race 1 will be Lizle Lai. Now, she was expected to need her local debut, but Nick, you'll be looking for the improvement.
Yeah, wasn't too unhappy with the first run. I think she was beaten 5 or so lengths, and she was 2 lengths off the favour of this race, that Ononoka Machi on the flight display run. Yeah, she's doing well at home, and she's come along with that run. She's begging for the 2000. Her dam was a half sister to 3 stakes placed winners and three stakes placed performers over 2 and 4 and a mile and a half. And she's doing well at home, and she's picked a bit of weight, and she's really enjoyed the 2000. Big drop in class, and she does enjoy the trip. She must be included.
We move to race 3, where we'll see Pilgrim step out for the first time, making his local debut. He'll also be making his poly debut as he relocates from the Western Cape.
Nothing too much on form, on paper, to suggest that he has a chance, but he's got bottom weight and a good draw. Charlie's been working him. He's quite happy with how he's progressed, and I think his work on the poly and that sand has been quite fair, and hoping for some improvement in the field that's maybe a little bit on the shallow side.
Alado's Habit runs in race 4. Now, she ran a super post-maiden race last time out, and she was eating up the ground late. Nick, she did come from a long way back. Yeah,
from the draw we took our medicine, and so I think she finished off that race quite well. I think it was 22.5, and she finished off well up inside, having to weave her way through. And we're expecting a really nice run. There's a lot of the field has obviously been quite exposed, and she's probably the biggest improver in the race with bottom weight and a good draw. I'm expecting quite a nice run from her. She is a really nice little filly, and touch where all goes well, it depends with her, and she keeps her mind on the game, and I think she would be with a really good shout.
Now, race 7 is the first leg of the East Cape Poly Challenge. Really looking forward to the start of the series. And Champanel, who's in the box behind me, is going to step out for the yard. Now, he has been such an exciting horse to follow of recent, and his leap up to pinnacle class last time out to win certainly made him a horse to keep an eye on. And Nick, I know this has been his game plan, the Poly Challenge.
Yeah, it's been quite an exciting horse to be involved with as well. He just seems to get better and better. And last time we threw him into the deep end, and he did it quite comfortably, if I could say that. He ran past the horse in front quite comfortably, hit the line running. He's flying at home. He's doing everything right. To me, he's unbeaten on poly. Yeah. We've accounted for a good part of this field, and that obviously we've taken at the weight terms maybe less favourable than last time, but I think he's up to the task. And I think if you leave horse out, he's unbeaten on poly. It's at your own peril. He's doing extremely well. Don't leave him out.
And that doing extremely well can be seen in his coat condition. He is shining this morning, and he's looking like he's up to the task on Friday. The yard will close in race 8 with Wordsworth. Now, if you look over his prior form and disregard his last, you'll see that last run was definitely not his, and probably best ignored.
Yeah, it was a funny run. I mean, he came back and he had tied up and fatigued terribly, and he had bad post-race distress, and we were shaking our heads and scratching, and the very next day we couldn't find a lick wrong with him. He was dead fine and perfect, nothing wrong with him, and we canted him on the Mondays to double check, and he came back reefing off the track. So he said, well, let's take our part in this race and see how it goes. And it doesn't seem there's no ill effects from that last run, so he's doing quite well. Back to the 5, which I think is his preferred trip, and he's doing well. And obviously the two youngsters at the top of the top of the page obviously seem they're big improvers, but they do carry level weights with a hard knocker like him, so throw him in, but I think the 2 youngsters are the horses to beat.
And one thing he certainly loves, that 5 furlong trip. Whatever the case, ignore that last. Wordsworth will do better.